You guys seem to really love my Redesigning Vocaloids as Witches series, so today I'm doing your absolute favorites. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Momo, how are y'all doing today? Stick around to see if your favorite made the cut, and if not, comment which ones I should do next. And now, without further ado, let's get to it. Last time VFlower was heavily requested, so let's start with her. VFlower was released back in 2014, and since then her design has changed multiple times in very drastic ways. Her original design was more femme-presenting with longer hair, while the more modern designs depict her with a shorter hairstyle as well as a more androgynous appearance. She was very much developed for rock-type music, so most of her songs are very emotional, angsty, and edgy. Some of her more popular songs include Goodbye Sengen, Villain, and Lower One's Eyes. In all honesty, I haven't listened to a lot of VFlower's original songs, but the ones I've listened to are really good and her voice is really nice. Although sometimes she sounds a bit too close to Len. Because of her androgynous appearance, a lot of people think that she's actually a boy, at least in the beginning. I know that's what I thought when I saw her design. So, when designing her witch version, I wanted to keep this androgynous vibe as much as possible. By looking at her original design, I thought that a roguelike aesthetic would fit her perfectly, so I leaned pretty heavily into it. I imagined that if she were a witch, she would be a traveling one. Most of her outfit is rather practical, with the exception of a few belts and buckles that are more of a fashion statement than anything else. A rule of cool type of design decision. Aside from that, her hat is pretty simple and straightforward. It's not too small, not too big, or overly adorned, just practical. I also gave her some comfortable boots so she'd feel at ease walking long distances, and she wears a dark cape to shield her from the elements. I imagine she'd love to journey by herself as a way of introspection. I think she likes to spend time alone in nature, but I also think that every now and then she'd feel the itch to pass by a village to either stock up on supplies or visit her friends. In these villages, she'd also work some odd jobs and look up some quests she could take part in, while writing songs on the side and occasionally performing them at taverns around the kingdom. Next up we have Meiko. Meiko was released all the way back in 2004 by Krypton Future Media, and she was a pioneer as she is the first ever Japanese-speaking Vocaloid. She was named after her voice provider Meiko Aigo, and was the Vocaloid that started the trend of attaching characters to voice banks. At the time, she was rather popular, selling 3,000 units on release, which was unheard of. Her voice is deeper and more natural sounding than the higher pitched Vocaloids that would follow her. This gives a more mature and seasoned singer vibe that the others might not have. Because of this, most people in the Vocaloid community see her as the mature older sister type and gave her sake as her character item. Her songs are often more grounded as she's used in more rock or jazz heavy tracks. Meiko has always been my least favorite of the Krypton Vocaloid set. As I said in one of my past videos, I got into Vocaloid when I was 13 or 14 years old, so I always felt more connected with the younger Vocaloids such as Rin, Len, and Meiko. With that said, as I've grown older, I've started to appreciate her songs more and more, with my favorites being Evil Food Eater Conchita, Pianoforte Scandal, as well as Nostalgic, which is actually a blast to play on Project Diva. I wanted to show in her witch design just how confident and experienced Meiko is. Her clothing is at the same time very pretty and formal, but also practical. She has a layered frilly skirt, yes, but it's open in the front, revealing that she's wearing pants. This allows her to have a broader range of movement. This way she can do more physically demanding tasks without abandoning her more ornate tastes. She also wears an ornate chest armor piece as a reference to her roles in songs like Alice of Human Sacrifice, Servant of Evil, or even Synchronicity. This also makes her look effortlessly powerful. And now, Ia. Ia was released in 2012 and her voice provider is Leah. This is one of the few Vocaloid characters with canon relationships with other Vocaloids, as she has a younger sister, One, another character in the same series she was released in. She has multiple popular songs, especially considering that she's the face of the Kagero Project series. Aside from that, some of her more popular songs are 6 Trillion Years and Overnight Story, Outer Science, and Night Sky Patrol of Tomorrow. A lot of her songs are narrative in nature, probably because her voice proved to be rather flexible and versatile, as it fits multiple types of emotions and genres of musics, from slow and emotional ballads to high-speed J-pop. Admittedly, I hadn't heard a lot of Ia until I was working on her design. Usually, as I'm coming up with these designs, I like to put on a playlist of the characters so that I can capture their vibe, even if I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. And all the songs I heard while working were really nice, and I really liked her voice. When designing her witch version, I wanted to go for a more traditional witch design. She has a black dress with big frilly sleeves, as well as an oversized black hat that contrasts perfectly with her pale blonde hair and hot pink accents. Unlike the other characters in this video, Ia's outfit isn't very suited for long journeys or physically demanding tasks, meaning that she's more dependent on her magical abilities, showing how confident she is in her magic. I also wanted to emphasize her long hair. Sometimes hair is used in magic spells and potions, so I like to believe that she let it grow this much because it can be a very important ingredient. Like her voice, I imagine her magic is also quite versatile, which means that her outfit being on the simpler side works very well in her favorites, as it leaves her specialty very ambiguous, resulting in patrons coming to her with all sorts of different troubles and requests. And finally, we have Adachi Rei. Rei is the youngest Vocaloid, well, Utaloid, of today's video, as she was released in 2019. She was created by Missile39, and unlike traditional Vocaloids, as well as most Utaloids, she does not have a voice provider, as her voice is 100% artificial. She was made as a crowdfunding project where her creator promised to release a voice bank, as well as build a real-life robot hover, which they ultimately were able to fulfill. As she is 100% artificial, most of her songs sound really choppy, industrial, and mechanical on purpose. The themes often discussed are existential in nature, as like with Detto before her, producers focus on how characters like this would feel about their accidental existence or their lack of humanity. Some of her most popular songs are Eat Up Normal, Test Drive, and My Bread Was Burned to a Crisp. I like her in concept. I think having a robot that doesn't necessarily pretend to be a human, but still has some sort of feeling about being an artificial being is interesting. Back in the day, there were actually a lot of Vocaloid songs about Vocaloids outliving their creators, and these songs have a very similar intention, and I find it really compelling. In practice, I think Adachi Rei is quite hard to get into. Her songs are very cool and well made, but her mechanical voice can sometimes be quite hard to understand. It's not quite the same type of mechanical voice that OG Teto had, which I believe was more tolerable. It's this very sharp mechanical sound that isn't particularly comfortable. Once you get used to it though, you'll find her music much more enjoyable. I had a blast designing her witch version. Since she is 100% artificial, I thought that even in this witch AU, she would still be a robot of some kind. So I designed her as a Cyberwitch, leaning heavily into cyberpunk, cyberpop aesthetics. I think her magic would be cast through her cybernetic gloves, making her unable to cast spells without them. I imagine her as a young witch who is still full of hope and has so much to learn. To me, it'd be really funny if she were actually the apprentice of Meiko, as Meiko was the first of her kind, much like Rei is unique in her own way. I really love her design. I love the oversized jacket, the chunky boots, and the oversized socks. I'll definitely repurpose this design for something else. And that's all I've got for you today. Which one was your favorite? I would really love to keep this series going, so feel free to comment your favorite Vocaloid. Also, if your favorite didn't appear on this video, there is a good chance I tackled them on a previous installment, so please check the playlist. If you want to support the channel and help me keep making videos like this, you can join my channel memberships. Members get early sneak peeks of upcoming videos and personal projects, exclusive emojis and loyalty badges, free coloring pages, and even a shoutout at the end of my videos just like this! Thank you so much to Sunny's Art in the Sky and Fawn for supporting the channel. Your support means the world. If you want to see more stuff from me, I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and on Blue Sky. Links are in the description. Thank you all so much, and until next time, bye!